Welcome to Brain Wreck. I'm Jason Axe.
I'm Kevin Graham.
And this is the best show. How you feeling, pal?
I'm feeling good. No, I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm like, for this week.
For this week.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Am I crooked?
What?
Am I crooked?
Are you the crooked man?
Am I crooked? I mean, I might be the crooked man. Like, I feel like I'm crooked. I feel like everything in my frame is crooked. Like,
I can't tell.
I'm off kilter.
Listen, you know, you got to be on the up and up.
You got to be on the up and up.
Straight and narrow.
Straight and narrow. I don't know which way is stage left.
This is the best show on the internet, folks. The only recipient of the YouTube Wood Award right there.
It's amazing.
The Woody Harrelson of podcasts.
We are the Danny DeVitos of digital media, folks.
That is correct.
It's tremendous. Can you actually hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, this joke.
I mean, you got a little Bane going on, but you know.
I mean, this joke doesn't really work then. I guess. Great mask, by the way.
Oh well, the wife made it. Yes. You know.
Yeah, she does good work.
Better late than pregnant, I always say.
Well, I mean, guess it depends on which side you're on.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. And I will say that this podcast is the catalyst for change.
No. Listen, okay. I'm actually I'm intrigued to see where you plan to go with this.
Because every time we end this show, literally every time this show goes off the air,
yeah,
the world fucking starts over. It starts over.
What does that mean? Is that some kind of like, fucking, okay. I don't even know. What's going on over here?
Let me preference this with, have you been watching the news?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's been an important thing to pay attention to as of late.
Absolutely. So what I'm trying to say is, we went off the air. What was it? 3 months ago.
Oh, 3 months ago. I mean,
3 months ago, we went off the air and said we didn't know what the hell was going to happen. And moments after we went off the air, they impeached Trump.
They did.
Then, like 3 weeks later, after making jokes about the coronavirus not being so serious, the NBA shuts down. The NFL shuts down. Everybody shuts down.
Tom Hanks. Like, I'm pretty sure. No. This is what it was. We were literally signing off.
That's
like,
right.
We were in the process of signing off, and we found out that Tom Hanks got or tested positive for COVID-19. Yes,
that's right. That's right. So this has become a trend.
Oh, and then apparently Kim Jong-un.
The Kim Jong-un story. Yes,
that broke on this show, sort of.
On this show, folks, I'm afraid to do the show anymore.
You think? Okay, so this is kind of like a Pandora's box, if you will.
This show. Okay.
No. I'm asking. Is like that?
Oh, is it? Oh, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
I'm afraid to say anything.
Oh, okay.
Because we went off the air last week.
Right.
And we kind of made the statement that, things are starting to look up. Places are starting to open up a bit. We thought that quarantine might be coming to an end pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of the vibes we were going with. But man, oh man.
Lots happened. A lot has changed. It was
lot has happened.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, it took an absolute tragedy to make some change.
Right.
And I don't want to make any bold statements because I don't know. Like, I'm hoping it's a permanent change. I hope things start to change.
Yeah.
But like, well, I guess what are your thoughts? And there's only one answer to this. Or we can't be friends anymore.
Well, first of all, my thoughts on what specifically? Because
just your thoughts.
Just my thoughts.
Yeah. What are you thinking about?
What am I thinking about? I think you hit the nail on the head. It definitely, like, tragic that this loss of life had to occur.
Well, it didn't. That's the tragic part.
Wait, what?
It didn't have to happen, is what I'm saying. It shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. Wow, completely misspoke. Holy shit. I've been off this week. I haven't really been sleeping, so I may this is going to be an interesting episode if we go to certain places, because I have not really slept in the past few days. So like I may unconscious or sub Okay. So here's the deal.
Tell the people what happened.
I am not okay with the fact that a man was murdered by the police. I am not okay with that. I am in support of people rising up and having their voices heard. As I'm sure a lot of people are aware, there is a lot of rioting and looting going on in the midst of all that. That I'm not a fan of. However, I have read some articles this past weekend and over the last few days even where that has kind of put some of that into perspective for me. These past few days for me have been a good learning experience. I have taken a stance of really just shutting the fuck up and doing the best I can to educate myself.
I mean, that's probably like...
Because...
it's so hard. Like, it's so hard to know what the right thing to do. Not to know what the right thing to do is, but to know where your place is.
I think, yeah. And Christy and I were talking about that a little bit today because, like, over the last few days, there's been, like, a lot of these trends that have been occurring on social media even. And, there's this whole concept of, silence is compliance. And if you're not making your voice heard, you're sort of hurting, a movement that could really use an additional voice. And I totally understand that. And
right.
I respect that in a lot of cases. But, like, for me, as somebody who doesn't fully understand a lot of it, like, I'm in a position now where I'm like, I really want to support a lot of the causes.
Right.
But, the important thing for me is to also gain a better understanding of, how people are feeling, why they're feeling that way, and not just sort of jumping on the bandwagon for the likes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I see that a lot. I see that a lot in people on social media where, and I'm not trying to discredit anybody's position or say that they're sort of trying to just follow a trend just to be like, hey, look at me. But, like, I feel like that is commonplace with a lot of people where, you get everybody who were posting, black tiles on their social media yesterday.
Yes.
Only to post more stuff later on that day.
Which was not, yes.
Or, based on what I was reading, you had a lot of people posting, the black tiles with, certain hashtags. A lot of people using, like, hashtag Black Lives Matter when a lot of the stuff I was reading was saying that's not what this is supposed to be for, or like if you're using those hashtags, like what you're really doing is drowning out a lot of the people trying to tweet about the protest and post about the protest and what. It's even more difficult knowing what to do and say to your kids about the current social injustice. I don't have kids, so I can't speak to that. So I would leave that to you.
Yes, and actually, the wife brings this up, and the wife had a nice talk with my daughter because she doesn't understand any of this. Like, it's so interesting from the perspective of kids because there's no prejudice with kids. Like, there really isn't. That's the crazy thing.
Yes and no. I feel like sometimes there can be, but they just don't understand.
Well, I mean, they're basing
or what that is.
It depends on how you teach them.
Exactly. Sure. Yes. That's kind of what I'm getting to.
Right, but like my daughter, who, you know, doesn't she doesn't see people differently. That's the
Right.
thing.
Right.
Like, we don't raise her to see people differently.
Mm-hmm.
But the wife was having a talk with her about how, you know, people are treated differently, even though there's no reason to. You know,
Right.
there's no reason for somebody to be treated differently. And she, you know, obviously talked about what's going on. Also, you know, kind of wrapped that up with how women are treated differently from men, and just kind of did an overall lesson on, you know, basically how it's not right. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's important to understand, but also important to stand up for what is right at the same time. So it is a hard conversation to have, especially with kids that don't understand it or
Right.
deal with it at all.
Right.
You know, just because they don't think that way.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's been a little bit challenging. The boys the boys not old enough to know anything. So like he knows stormtroopers, and he knows like pirates. And,
right.
and he doesn't discriminate against either. So
Okay.
like he doesn't get it. But I mean, yeah, it is difficult to have that conversation. But yeah, like it's hard to know. I think what you said is really good. Like to learn. You know, don't go out. I mean, if you have a voice and you want it to be heard, hey, this is America.
Do it.
Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise.
Right.
Let's see here. I can't read that.
It says it's really tough to talk. It's a really tough talk to have, but saying nothing definitely isn't the right thing to do. Oh, absolutely.
Correct.
And I have seen some of that over the weekend, just with like parents like saying, you know, don't bring this up with your kids or stuff like that. I'm just like, why the fuck not?
And
like,
it's really
you don't
too,
have to, yeah.
Because of like some platforms have taken it upon themselves to try to educate kids. For instance, there was a big controversy with Nickelodeon.
I was just about to say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who, for I think it was the 8 minutes and 30 seconds, displayed just a breathing sound with "I Can't Breathe" playing. Apparently frightened a lot of kids, and there was a little backlash for that. But that's what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. You know
and
what?
It was supposed to wake people up.
It's not the type of thing that's just gonna go away if you don't look at it.
Correct.
And you know, I'm starting to now see this sort of trend with a lot of people that, you know, I'm friends with on social media, and like just, you know, people that I'm following and like threads that I'm seeing where, you know, there was the initial outrage, and rightfully so. When everything first happened, and then the protests started, and then you saw the people who were in support of the protests, the people who were against the protests, and then, you know, with the rioting and the looting happened, the people who were trying to say, oh, well, this is what happens when you, and it's just fucking chaos.
Right.
And you get the people who are just like, we just need to spread love and peace. We just all need to be happy, friendly, kumbaya. Let's pull out a guitar and sing happy songs.
All right.
And it's like, I get what you're trying to do. That's not helpful.
No.
That doesn't make the problem go away. Pretending like the problem doesn't exist and just saying, well, we should all be neighbors and high fives and hugs and handshakes and lovey-dovey. That's not the reality of the world. And
I think, and you bring up a great point. Like, I don't think what this whole fucking year has really demonstrated to me is most people have no fucking grip on reality.
No.
At all.
Absolutely none.
Everybody lives in their own fucking fantasy world.
Yeah.
And nobody understands. Like, 2020 should show you how fucking frail society is. Society is the fucking Star Wars universe. It's barely held together.
Yeah, and I don't like it so much. It's like there's like maybe a few things here and there that I'm like, yo, I dig that, but everything else I'm just like, this is awful. Yeah, it's and that's part of the reason why I'm like really trying to educate myself on everything, because much like you talked about your daughter, like growing up, and like this is again, like this kind of goes back to conversation I was having with Christy earlier. Like my first friend was black. We were best fucking friends. Like, did everything together, and like growing up, I watched predominantly black sitcoms because when I watched them, I would go, "Hey, they look just like my friend."
Right.
Like that's cool. I like that. And like the older I got, like, I had a lot of, friends of different colors, different races, growing up, my mom being gay. So I had a close tie to, that community. And like, I grew up around,
grew up woke?
I grew up in a diverse environment. So like, it was constantly interacting, with people of different colors, races, sexualities, and genders. So like, I kind of had this spectrum of people. So like that's how I really sort of grew my social interactions on. So like I never really looked at anything as, it's one of those situations where like, I don't like the phrase, "Oh, I don't see color," when referring to people.
Unless you're something, Steve.
That's fucking mean. But like, I don't ever want to be one of those people who's like, I don't see color, because like, I feel like that somehow, like in some way, I almost feel like that sort of invalidates what that person may have gone through. You know what I mean? Or it sort of turns a blind eye to like who they are and what they may have experienced through life, when realistically what I should be doing is saying like, trying to understand and learn from them and kind of gauge like what their walk through life has been. But like it's always one of those things where like everybody for me just kind of fit in. Like to me that's what society was. And then like the older I got, because I would always sort of like walk through life just going, well, like, why is somebody coming out of the closet such a big deal? Like nobody should care. It shouldn't be a thing. Or like, why are so people worried about a black guy like walking down the street? But like, that was me sort of ignoring the reality of the situation.
Right.
Even though like I went through life not having those prejudices. Like.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know where I was going with a lot of that.
I think that's another point too. Is like, I think people, there are plenty of people who want to be out there that want to help.
Right.
They want to do the right thing. But I do see some people out there being, who want to do the right thing, who want to help
right.
But they're so invested in helping that they're not trying to understand.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, from my perspective, and again, I don't know if this is the right perspective, but it's my perspective, so it's the one that I have to offer here. It's okay to say, I don't know.
It is.
It's okay to say, I don't know what that's like. And I don't know how to react to that. But then you also have to be okay to be like, teach me. Show me.
100%. Blakely's saying we need to celebrate our differences instead of pretending we're all the same. I agree.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think
that's a more eloquent way of what I was trying to say.
I also think that that's like a very good way to really invigorate a new life and spirit into the world, because like if we're all the same, acting the same way, looking at each other like I mean, like, do it in a positive light, yes, but like,
yeah, then Elon Musk is one.
Wait, what?
He's creating that Oculus.
What Oculus?
The implant.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Elon Musk is inventing a brain implant.
To do what? What? To do what?
It's to interact with the virtual world seamlessly.
The virtual
So, like,
world that we live around,
I mean,
or like
no,
augmented
okay,
reality.
we're all in the Matrix. We're all in the Matrix.
Oh my God.
But anyway, he's trying to invent basically a way so like you don't have to use your phone to like Google something. You can just think about it and then you know it.
Fuck that shit.
And then when that happens, we're all the same because we all have the same access to everything except for the overlords because they will hold the keys. That's all I'm saying. Don't do it. Keep chips out of your brain.
So yes, let's celebrate differences and diversity and yeah. So it's been. Go ahead.
I was gonna say so. I think from this point, it's pretty clear what we think as far as our ideology.
I hope.
I hope we made that very clear.
I'll state this. I still have a lot to learn, and I'm more than happy to listen. Because if there's one thing that I've learned over this past weekend, it's that some of y'all need to just shut the fuck up.
Very true. Very true. This year has been a test of a lot of friendships. I will say that. A lot of people.
I feel like it's
been seeing a different side of some people that not too keen on.
Yeah, I think that's there were a few people today who I hopped onto Facebook real quick and I saw what they were posting, and like I had like it was one of those things, man, where like I had the article like almost ready because like I had just read it that was like, here's why what you're saying is bullshit. Like, no, that man who chased after that group of people with a sword was not a businessman who just happened to savagely get beaten up in the middle of a street.
Right.
Yeah, and like there was a lot of that where I was like, and I'm just like, you know what, like I can't get into that. I'm just gonna focus my energy on more productive things. And plus, people had already called them out, so it was like they've got it. It's fine.
So what I want to do now is kind of shift from ideology to more factual based things.
Okay.
So as you had mentioned, a lot of protests.
A lot of
some looting.
Yes.
Did you have any personal experience with anything in you?
We did not.
Okay.
We missed all that. Really, it got pretty bad in Austin, but it was all sort of contained within a certain proximity. From what I saw, like I saw some pretty fucked up shit, specifically on like the police's side. Not awesome. It's I know not all cops are bad. I get that, but when you're just kind of taking target practice at people, it's not a good look. There was
just because those bullets are rubber doesn't mean they don't do damage.
A
few people lose a couple eyes.
There was a teenage kid who was like standing far off to the side who just happened to get hit in the head. So it lasted Saturday, Sunday. I think Saturday was a little more confrontational from what I was reading. We had actually gone up north for the day. We had already had that plan for a couple of weeks. So we were more outside of Austin, but like even if we did like stay at the apartment, it was still like a good 15 minutes, 20 minutes south of where we live. So we wouldn't have really had too much of an issue. And then like Sunday was, same kind of thing, a little bit more protest, but like I think they had a little bit more contained this time, and they were actively trying to get people to disperse at an earlier time. And then I think we're actually scheduled for another one this Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I was hearing that like Syracuse got it too.
Yeah. So there were some there was protests, and then there was kind of a breakdown of that.
Sure.
I wasn't there. I was home.
Yeah.
And while I was home, I could hear some, what I presume, I'm hoping were fireworks going off.
Okay.
but it was unnerving, to say the least.
I can understand that. Yeah.
To hear loud pops in the night when you watching video footage of people rioting in your town. It's
Right.
not awesome to see or hear. And my sister, however, did go down
Oh, really?
to the protests and has some stories about that, of confrontations with officials, we'll say.
Cops?
Yeah, but the sad part is that few small businesses were destroyed,
Sure.
which is not awesome to see. One that I kind of know, Voltage Video Games.
Yeah. I
completely
think we're all
destroyed.
pretty familiar with that. Yeah.
Which was, I know some people personally that have like helped build that place up. So seeing their posts on Facebook being very emotional was not fun to have to deal with. I mean, there's nothing good. There's nothing positive. There's nothing like, I don't know, really over the toply good to say about what happened. But I mean, besides the fact that news breaking today that the other cops have been charged.
The other cops have been charged, and then like the one guy got he's now being charged with second-degree murder.
Yeah. So like that hey, that's a positive thing that came out of what happened, because I don't think that would have happened otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's, can I go back to what I was saying earlier? Like, with a lot of the stuff that I was reading over the weekend, like, I have a better understanding as to why, like, there were all the protests, why there was some rioting, why there was some looting. And I mean, just even go look at some of the footage and you can kind of see why there was a lot of the aggression that there was. But like, you see that the other cops were now being charged. You see that there are, people taking action against some of the police aggression that took place during the protests. You see that some politicians are now getting voted out of office.
Yes.
And and like, it's unfortunate that it's taking all of this.
Oh, for sure.
To get those results. But the glimmer of hope is like, this is starting to work.
Well, the glimmer of hope is that change can happen.
Change can happen. And I think that if anything, this past week can definitely be attributed to all the change that's now, or like all the change that's now happening can likely be attributed to a lot of what occurred this past weekend. My hope is in the future it doesn't take these large protests, and that we can live in a world where we do hold people accountable for their actions, and we do look at authority figures and say, hey, if you fuck up, we're going to take charge against you. Like, this is going to happen, and we're not going to just sit quietly and brush this under the rug and post fucking happy kitten memes just trying to promote peace, like, because that's not.
It was the perfect storm with everybody being locked in on quarantine, people being out of work, people losing their homes.
That's still a thing, right? Quarantine.
I mean, yeah. It has only been a week. Like, last Wednesday, he was alive. Right? I think it happened Thursday, right?
I think so, yeah.
So, all of this happened in 1 week.
It's crazy.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
To think about.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, kind of like what we were saying. Our goal and our objective with a lot of this is to just kind of take a step back and listen and to educate ourselves. We encourage a lot of you to do the same. And and if you have a voice and you have a stance on something, let it be heard. Don't and hold motherfuckers accountable.
Yeah, so I'm going to propose this.
Yeah.
We have some rules on this show.
You're goddamn right we do.
Rule number 1. There ain't no family fucking on this show.
No family fucking. We don't accept it. We don't condone it. We don't want to watch it. Knock that shit off.
Number 2, which kind of
we have number 2?
I mean, if you really think about it, if you want to get deep down, rule number 2 kind of contradicts rule number 1. Texas Roadhouse is a quality
Texas.
establishment.
Well, wait, what the fuck does that mean?
I'm just saying.
Texas Roadhouse, it's a fine establishment, okay? There's no family fucking involved. I don't care. Listen,
You're not getting weird with the rolls?
we're not getting. Well, first of all, a roll ain't no family.
Should there be 2 new rules?
Should be 2 new rules. A roll ain't no family. Maybe that's rule number 3. Listen.
But I want to implement a new rule.
Okay.
I mean, we had rule number 3 was this is the best show on the internet. It became
Best show on the internet. It became a slogan,
rule
yeah.
Anymore. So the new rule number 3, with your permission, I'd like to add this rule.
Okay.
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. I love it. I had a college professor once. That was like the whole motto, the motto of her class was "Don't be an asshole." Yeah, it's a great motto.
Perfect motto.
Yeah, perfect way to go through life. Just don't be an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like.
We got 3 rules, folks.
We got 3
Pretty
rules.
easy to follow.
I had a segue.
Okay.
I no longer do.
What happened?
It's gone.
I derailed. I derailed your segue.
You kind of did. I don't remember. Where were we talking about before?
I mean, we were talking about what was happening, change. We were talking about
quarantine.
Quarantine.
How's your quarantine going? We haven't really done a solid quarantine update in a while.
Anymore. Who cares? Who the fuck cares?
Okay. I'll say this: we actually had probably the first day, like a day of events that we have had since before all of this. Yeah, like I said, we already had some stuff planned over the weekend, so we had actually, done a lot of stuff because Texas is on the verge of phase 3. We're about to go to 50%.
Oh wow.
Who knows? Maybe people saw the protests and they were like, you know what? They're fine. We could boost this thing up.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like everyone was like, "Fuck the social distancing." Where there ain't no social distancing when you're protesting.
No,
it ain't
absolutely not. But yeah, we're about to get bumped up to 50% capacity. But over the weekend, it was great. Like, I was able to get up, go get groceries in the morning. I went to the fitness center in our apartment.
Oh, you braved it.
Braved it. Did a little cardio. I wore my masks, or I wore my mask. Not
doing cardio.
Not this one because I didn't want to get it all funky.
Right.
Yeah, while doing cardio. But like they had a sign.
That must have sucked.
It did. It really sucked. They had a sign on the door, though, that said, like, please adhere to the rules and regulations, and it said, wear your mask. So I was like, okay, like, I don't have a problem with that. Plus, I was the only person in there at 10 o'clock. So I was like, all right, this ain't no problem. And I did, like, an hour of cardio. That's all I did.
Oh, nice.
And, like, a few other people came in. I think, like, 5 people total. But, like, nobody was social distancing. Nobody was wearing a mask. And I was like, you know what? I'm okay with wearing my mask now. Just because. I'm trying to set a precedent.
Lead by example.
Leading by example. I went back the next morning and I did take it off when I was doing cardio. It just couldn't breathe, man. It was
sucks,
tough,
right?
And there was like nobody there, so I was like, I'll be okay. But yeah,
we are officially entering phase 2 on Thursday.
I heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is tomorrow.
What is phase 2? For you guys,
phase 2 is restaurants who now have outside seating.
Oh, okay.
Can do their outside seating with the every other table method.
Okay.
You can you don't have to wear masks when seated at the table, but if you're waiting, you do.
Gotcha.
So there's a little bit of that. So like we're getting the ball moving a little bit here.
We actually went and visited friends. And we hung out with people.
Oh.
So like that was nice because it was like we hadn't really seen people.
Interaction,
yeah. It was like, wow, like we almost forgot how that works. Yeah, I mean like it was a solid time because like, being stuck inside for as long as we had, like it was nice to be able to get out and sort of like have that ability to like, you know, okay, like little by little, like you can go to the store, you can go do this, you can go do that. So
Right.
hopefully with regard to quarantining, we're sort of on the upswing in a positive way.
I think so. You know, it's hard to say. It'll be real interesting for me anyway when the history books are finally written about this whole thing, whether or not the quarantine, the shutdown, all that stuff is portrayed as a life-saving event or a complete overreaction.
I guarantee you're going to get a lot of people who are going to say it was an overreaction, which I wholeheartedly disagree with.
Right. I mean, as of right now, I think that it was the right move.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Something may come out to tell us different. Who
was it?
Who knows?
Well, okay. I want to look something up real quick because I saw a thing on Facebook. Mm-hmm. May or may not be factual.
Well, that's perfect for this show.
Because fucking Facebook. So apparently New Zealand.
They're the ones that did nothing, right? Or was that Switzerland? I get them confused all the time.
I mean, basically the same country. Not even close.
I don't have a map.
New Zealand set to ease coronavirus restrictions after 11 days with no new reported cases. I don't know what they did.
Okay.
There's a lot of information here. I don't know if you just want me to read it.
You completely regret looking it up.
I do. wait. Okay, hang on. Okay. New Zealand's lockdown timetable. The first case of coronavirus was confirmed by New Zealand on February 28th, more than a month after the United States confirmed its first infection. On March 14th, when the country had 6 cases, wow, they went that long with, well, I guess testing didn't really exist ever. Mm-hmm. They announced that anyone entering the country would need to self-isolate for 2 weeks, which at the time was amongst the toughest border restrictions in the world. Foreign nationals were banned from entering the country on March 20th. Days later, on March 23rd, with no deaths and when there were 102 confirmed cases, they announced the country was entering level 3 lockdown. Non-essential businesses were closed, events, gatherings canceled, school was closed to all children. So kind of similar to like what we were doing.
Yeah.
Employees were told to work from home. Mm-hmm. Public transportation was reserved for essential workers. Discretionary domestic air travel between regions was banned.
I want to stop you right there. I just want to make this point here. I don't ever want to go into an office again.
Do we ever need to go into an office again?
No. Offices are bullshit. Bullshit, and this proved it. If you have the equipment...
Okay, if there's one thing we can get from the coronavirus pandemic, it's that offices are bullshit.
Offices are bullshit.
I feel like that's rule 16.
I'm tired of passing around cards for everybody to sign. I'm fucking sick of being responsible and bringing the birthday cake in when it's my turn.
Nobody even wished me a happy birthday this year.
I'm fucking tired of these goddamn team building bullshits. Like, everybody can work from home. Everybody can do their job. If you can't do your job, you don't deserve to have the job.
I think that I agree with you in some regard. I do think that there are some jobs, however, that do require office interaction, so that would be good. Like, I mean, I've been working remote since September. Mm-hmm. So when they were like, we're all working from home, and I was like,
been there, done that.
Been there, doing that. And if anything, like, work has gotten more efficient.
Oh, I know.
Like,
because nobody's hiding in the bathroom.
nobody's hiding. You can kind of take like you can work a little bit longer through the day, but take more micro breaks. It's great.
Right.
You know, I could do some
Greg
push-ups
sitting at the water cooler.
I can do some push-ups. I can do my resistance bands. I can snuggle with my kitty cat. You know, I can pester Christy. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she loves it.
She does. She does love it. She does.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. Okay. All right. So then, yada yada yada. Domestic travel banned. They went to lockdown 4. People were told which is quarantine. People were told not to leave except for essential exercises near the home, maintaining 2-meter distancing.
What's meters?
Christy, what's the math on a meter?
What's the math on the meter?
What's the meter math?
Are you the meter maid? Lovely Rita.
April 9th, despite... It's great. We spent 24 hours a day in the same room. I wouldn't have it any other way.
3 feet.
3 feet.
Now,
wow, 3 feet?
Call bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit on the 6 feet bullshit. Because all these motherfuckers that have markings on the ground, they're 3 feet. They ain't no 6 feet.
Oh, yeah. It's not 6 feet.
It's not 6 feet at all.
I mean, I don't mind people staying 6 feet away from me. I'm okay with that. I have actually
smell you.
And I can't smell, so I don't know if I smell bad. I've also been very like.
Wait, does that mean you can't get the corona? Wait, do you have it? Loss of sense of smell is a symptom.
I've had loss of sense of smell since I was like fucking 12.
Did you get it when you were 12? Did you eat a bat?
No, I didn't eat a bat. I mean, I hit myself in the face with a bat, but I don't think that was related.
Maybe this was all a misunderstanding because of lost in translation.
Maybe that time I hit myself in the face with a bat. Maybe I'm still there.
Wait, I'm a figment of your imagination?
Holy shit. What if you're a figment of my imagination and this is just like some fucked up Jacob's Ladder scenario?
I knew this was real.
What if I made up the Jacob's Ladder scenario in my head after hitting myself in the face with a bat? And that's just me trying to fucking piece together what's I'm just going to finish this article.
It's like that movie with Obi-Wan Kenobi where he's the doctor after the car accident.
But doctor,
you know what I'm talking about?
The one where he's like, but doctor, I can't operate on this man. He's my son.
I don't know what movie you're talking about, but I'm talking about the one where the guy, like the whole movie is a hallucination of somebody who just got into a car crash.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
What is this movie? Somebody, Christy, what's the math on the movie? Hold on. Let me check his IMDb. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, it's just like Obi-Wan Kenobi. April 9th, despite declining cases, they tightened border restrictions. The country is said to have one of the highest testing capacities in the world. That just ends the article. So it seems like New Zealand was pretty strict with stuff, and they were testing the fuck out of people. So that could be key. Wait.
That could be key, but we need a fucking test.
2 meters is 3 yards.
It's 3 yards.
It's 3 yards. Yards.
But what's a yard? How many foots are in a yard?
Jesus Christ. Remember when we started this show?
Where the fuck is this guy's IMDb?
Who are you trying to find?
Patrick Ewing.
Pat Space Jam.
No, Ewan McGregor.
Wait, who?
Ewan.
Ewan?
Where the fuck? Hold on, I'm trying to find his movies. Yeah, he was Christopher Robin. He sees some shit.
I still haven't watched Christopher Robin because I'm afraid of what it's gonna do to me.
Dude, it's intense. He was in Nanny McPhee.
Yeah, he was one of the McPhees.
He was one of the McPhees.
What fucking movie are you even?
Stay. That's the movie.
What?
Stay.
Stay?
The movie Stay. 2005 Stay.
Starring Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Starring Obi-Wan Kenobi. Who the fuck else was in this movie? It got oh jeez, got 27% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's doing great. I had Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. It had Bob Hoskins in it.
Did it have Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the old man. He literally had the role to lay there dead. That was his role. He didn't do anything else in the movie.
Okay. So what the fuck is this movie even about?
So this movie is about a guy that gets into a car accident, but you don't know that till the end.
Well, and spoilers, Jesus.
Well, 2005, brother. Like the world is ever changing. So, guy, a car accident, and he's dying on the pavement.
Which
and
guy?
This guy and the what?
Which guy is dying?
The main character.
Ewan?
What?
Ewan?
No, the other guy.
Bob?
Gosling.
Gosling. Bob Gosling.
Yeah. Who? Oh. So the main character's dying on the pavement.
Okay.
But you don't know that till the end. What? So like he doesn't.
So the movie starts with the main character dying on the pavement.
No. So the main character.
What is this timeline?
is like this crazy guy.
Okay.
Who's like going to see the psychiatrist, who's Ewan McGregor.
Right.
Okay, and he's trying to figure out this guy who's like super depressed and suicidal or whatever, and then Obi-Wan has his girlfriend, who's also interacting with the main character.
Okay.
As another aspect. It's kind of like The Departed, how like the one chick's like banging everybody. So anyway, you're going through the movie and you're trying to figure out if this guy is going to kill himself, the main character. And it kind of, as the movie goes along, things start to not make sense.
Okay.
And plot breaks down, and I think like, I don't know if that's intentional to the movie, but it certainly helps with the ending.
or it could just be a poorly written movie.
Rotten Tomatoes. But like, so eventually things just don't make sense at all.
Right. And
then you come to the actual reality of this is what this guy is seeing as he's dying on the pavement. And the two people, Obi-Wan Kenobi and the girl, are just people who pulled over at the scene of the accident and are trying to help him. Like, they're not actually the people who have been portrayed in the movie. He is just hallucinated that one's a psychiatrist and the other's married to the other one, kind of thing. And then at the end, the two people, Obi-Wan Kenobi and the girl, after the guy dies, spoiler, go out and have coffee. So they end up together, like in the guy's fantasy. It's a real... It's like a poor man's Inception.
Wait. So Obi-Wan and I think the woman who you're speaking of is Naomi Watts.
Sure.
So in the hallucination, they're together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the hallucination, they're together, but in real life, they're just two randos.
Two randos that pulled over to help on the scene of the crash.
And then based on that, they end up getting coffee together in real life?
In real life. But he because he's dying and he doesn't know what's happening, these are the two people that are like in front of him. So he's incorporated them into his fantasy world kind of thing. And Bob Hoskins was in the back seat dead from the car accident.
Wait, I completely forgot about Bob. What car was he in? Was he in the same car as the other guy?
Yeah. Everybody died. You should check it out. Terrible movie.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I hate that movie.
I'm so glad we talked 15 minutes about this movie.
Why does that movie exist?
I don't know. Okay, it came out like at the same time as Crash.
Okay, those are completely different movies.
Exactly. But like they were competing because they were the one-word title movie. You had Stay and you had Crash.
And
One
Stay
was good.
and Stay had
one was not.
and Stay had a crash in it. Where,
Right.
Where Crash had a lot of tales of racism and social
Which is relevant to the
pressure.
show.
Bringing it all back around. See that
Right.
conversation about Stay, which you thought was bullshit? It all made sense.
For no other particular reason that I mentioned a better movie.
Did Crash actually come out in 2005?
I think so.
2004, which I mean, that's like,
okay.
yeah.
A December, January situation.
It came out in May. Oh no! Oh, wait a minute. The release date was May 2005. Okay, Google, you just got all sorts of wrong information on your screen right now. Wait, and then
That's why we can't let Elon Musk succeed. He already sent a rocket into space.
what is this Crash 1996? Oh, it's got James Spader in it. Sex and car crashes.
Is that one of those early hacking movies that like has nothing to do with actual hacking?
No, I think the movie's about sex and car crashes.
Oh, okay.
Like that's what the movie is. It's called Crash. After getting into a serious car accident, a TV director discovers an underground subculture of scarred omnisexual car crash victims who use their accidents and their raw sexual energy they produce to try to rejuvenate their sex life with his wife. I'm on IMDb, sir.
Oh, we went down a rabbit hole there for a minute.
This is what I do now.
Okay. Well, I want to bring up something else.
Okay.
But I just forgot what it was. So, anyway, I was gonna say something about the fucking
About Crash?
No,
About
I was done with that.
About Disney?
Oh, I mean, there is some news about Disney, but I want to tell you off camera first.
Yeah, we got to talk after this.
But there was a major update to Disney, which we will talk about next week, because, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to. You just won the YouTube Wood Award. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to Disney World, motherfuckers. What? Yeah,
that's right. This October,
Mm-hmm.
the last week of October, yours truly and that guy,
me,
are going to
Disney. And two other people we're bringing with us. Gonna show them a night on the town.
That's right.
Night on Main Street.
Wearing masks.
Do Epcot. It's fucking the woo thing. Remind me to tell you something after this. I have two things I need to tell you. You have to
thing.
Yes, actually. Actually. There are two things I need to tell you. One of them, I wanted to do today, but no. Another thing, it's just a funny story. It's a follow up to another thing I told you. So this is great content for our viewers.
This show has been best show on the internet.
Best show on the motherfucking internet.
Like this on the internet.
Listen,
I can guarantee it.
We're fun guys. We're here to hang out.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. You got mushrooms?
Listen, kayfabe, brother.
I mean, just like chop some up, put them in a salad.
I don't
pizza,
like mushrooms. I'm not a mushroom guy. You know what? I don't like blue cheese either. I think it's a fungus thing.
That might be. That would make sense for you. I like blue cheese. Here's the thing. I don't hate mushrooms. I just there's something about the consistency of a mushroom. Yeah. It's like
slimy.
It's like they're slimy, but they're not. They're soft, but they're not. I just don't understand.
You can't trust them.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust it. And then there's that day I ate mold.
You did eat mold.
I did eat mold. Right. I ate a lot of mold. I Bro, I made myself throw up like 5 times that day. I don't ever condone anybody trying to do that to themselves.
What, trying to puke themselves?
Trying to make themselves throw up. That because I was like, I mean, I don't know what it.
Are you taking an anti-bulimia stand
100%.
currently on the show?
Yeah, I'm taking a lot of stands today. That's also one of them. Just the pain and agony that I went through, like, and I'm just like, it's like, there's a lot of things that I'm like, I don't know how people can do things like that. And then I thought about like other things, and I was like, how do they do that? And then I didn't want to think about it anymore. Anyways, we're wrapping up here. Follow this show, Brainwreck Show, across all social media chat, social media platforms.
We got a little heavy this week. We thought that it was important to talk about.
There's things
so we talked about it. You know, usually we come here with a lot of yucks, a lot of
tee-hee-hees,
a lot of hee-hees, ho-hos. Boy, are you in luck.
Boy, are you in luck. You don't even know. It's Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, fucking DLive, fucking we're working on that OnlyFans platform. We're gonna get there one of these days. Who knows? We might just set up a Tinder account just to promote the show. We don't know yet. You have an idea? Okay.
What if we started an OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Where we went around and to home improvement stores and filmed the ceiling fan section. So it's only fans.
Like, kind of like, look at these sexy ass fans.
I mean, there's that, and like taking the name literally, but like, I think it's genius.
We can talk about that. We're everywhere. We've got more content to come at you weekly on Wednesdays.
We're not stopping. Who are we kidding?
What?
We got nothing else to do.
We got nothing else to do.
This podcast is going to go on until one of us dies.
Pretty much. Because we ain't got anywhere else to go. So.
And we're just documenting life.
That's what this show is. Just documenting life. 20 years from now, they're going to look back and they're going to say, wow, the Brainwreck, that was really a fucking...
4 years into the show, we
telescope. Yeah, they're gonna look at this show years from now and be like, where were we in 2020? And they're gonna see fucking us two schmucks sitting here trying to make social commentary.
Pretty accurate.
Anyways,
anyway, for this week, I'm Jason X.
I'm Kevin Graham,
and this has been your show.
Bye.